Why go to the Caribbean when you can enjoy luxurious paradise at the Boca Raton? Thinking about a Caribbean vacation but don't want the hassle of getting to the Caribbean? We found an incredible alternative in America, so no passport is necessary if you're in the US. It's called the Boca Raton Hotel. Yes, in Boca Raton, Florida. Let me explain. The hotel is called the Boca Raton, and with 5 different luxurious hotels in one, you never need to leave.
3, 2, 1.
We recently tried it after debating whether to go on a Caribbean vacation. Let's break down why, first starting with why we eliminated the Caribbean. The Boca Raton is expensive, but it's not as expensive as getting to and staying in the Caribbean. Even if you're coming from Europe, we live in New York City, and even the closer islands like the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos were at least double the price in airfare compared to flying to Fort Lauderdale or Miami. Those are economy prices for a family of 3, by the way.
Are you copying me, Sebastian?
And if you want to be more exotic and fly somewhere like St. Martin or the bougie St. Bart's, get ready to open up your wallet even further. When it comes to the cost of the hotels, the Boca Raton can be as expensive as some of the most luxurious Caribbean options. And remember, we're looking for luxury accommodations, not a budget hotel. We stayed at the Boca Raton in January 2024 for an average nightly cost at the Beach Club of $659 per night. It also included a $200 nightly resort credit, which we put to good use, as you'll see in this video. Compare that to most Caribbean luxury options that often start around $1,000 per night, and for us, it was a no-brainer. The cost of the Boca Raton can vary though. As I recently discovered when creating this video, the prices have really spiked for the month of March 2024, for example, but it's still on par or cheaper than most luxury Caribbean options. And when you consider everything you get at the Boca Raton, which you'll soon see, it was an obvious choice for us, especially given the convenience factors. In terms of convenience, it's logistically easier to get to the Boca Raton than it is flying to a Caribbean island and finding transportation to take us to the hotel. Some of the islands have limited rental cars. Others, like Turks and Caicos, drive on the left side of the street, which may be fine for the Brits, but can confuse us Americans. There also seem to be a lot of uncertainty around the car rental process on most islands. Costs, pickups, etc. All of these factors deterred us, but please let me know in the comments about your experience. It's also much closer for us to get to Florida than the Caribbean. Of course, this is dependent on where you're coming from, but the overall ease of travel for us getting from New York City to Fort Lauderdale or Miami, it's simply easier. Shorter flight, no customs, certainty around the car rental process, and like with St. Bart's, for example, you have to take an extra plane or a ferry in order to get there, which for some people they may not mind, but traveling with a little one, we weren't prepared to do that. And finally, I want to address safety. I think much of the safety concerns are probably overblown, especially if you're just planning to stay at the resort in a Caribbean destination. Of course, bad things can happen, but they can happen anywhere. According to sailingeurope.com, which is the first website shown when searching the safest and most dangerous Caribbean islands, based on crime rates alone, these are the most dangerous islands. You can cross-check that with the US State Department travel advisories. I can only find 2 Caribbean countries with a heightened travel advisory, Haiti and Jamaica. The Bahamas was recently escalated to level 2 for crime, but take that with a grain of salt because even countries like the UK are level 2. Just exercise common sense and don't be an idiot. The good news with the Boca Raton, no crime concerns at all. Let's explore the hotel. One critique you might have when initially presented with the idea of staying at the Boca Raton is that it's, in Boca Raton, which is basically like a giant suburb filled with families and retirees. And while that's all true, there are also a lot of strip malls, shopping malls, and there's even a sleepy little downtown. But But we're not here for the city itself. We're here specifically for the Boca Raton Hotel. Then you might think, why would you stay somewhere only to rarely leave the hotel? I would ask you, what do most tourists do on Caribbean islands?
Not yet.
Few leave the resort, and even when they do, it's often on guided excursions. So what's the difference? At the Boca Raton, there's a beautiful beach, an intercoastal with a water taxi. There's shuttle service on land too, and full access to all of the other amenities the hotel has to offer. Numerous restaurants and bars, large pools, both harborside and beachside, golf, tennis, and pickleball, boating, water sports, fitness, and more. It's like staying at a country club. In fact, you can even become a member. The only time outsiders are allowed in is if they're guests of a fellow hotel guest or a member of the Boca Raton. We had a friend visit us at the hotel, and the guards wouldn't let his car through because we hadn't given them advance notice. They eventually let him in. He was stuck at the gate for a little bit, but that was completely our mistake. This policy does make the dining experience nice though, because the restaurants are limited to guests and members. No outsiders, so you're almost always guaranteed to get a reservation, and the food is really good. It's expensive though, but it's not like hotel restaurants in the Caribbean are cheap. With New York City classics like Sadelle's, we felt right at home. The Boca Raton is partnered with the major food group, the visionaries behind Carbone, Parm, and The Grill in New York City, to create a range of signature culinary experiences. We also tried the Flamingo Grill, which had great steaks and was just off the golf course, but once again was very expensive. One of the best steaks I've ever had though. One day we ate by the pool and another by the ocean. Each had solid food and drink menus. You'll be well fed here, but you will pay for it. Now you might think you're missing culture by not going to the Caribbean, but I assure you, you're not. It's obviously different though. The Boca Raton offers a Gilded Age American experience. It was built at the height of the Roaring '20s in 1926. The grand and ornate architecture and decor is stunning at every turn. The history of this place speaks to you in every space, especially in their iconic Palm Court. Talk about a grand space. I could sit in this area all day and never tire. You really get a taste of the height of American opulence. It's pretty fun. And if you do get bored of one space, hop on the water taxi or shuttle and jettison to another part of the resort, which spans across the intercoastal. One of the best features of this resort are its multiple pools. The beach club has two, in addition to the great ocean front, but our favorite was the harborside pool, complete with a lazy river, two giant water slides, and even a pirate ship for the kids. By the way, this resort is incredibly kid-friendly and accommodating. You can roll a stroller all over the place, but that doesn't mean that it's just all families. It's just very accommodating to families, but even just couples or groups without kids, they can definitely have fun here too. It's a very adult environment, and the yacht club is 21 and over, so maybe stay there if you're trying to stay away from the kids. We spent an entire day though at that harborside pool and enjoyed every second. Now let's get to the room tour. The room we stayed in was at the beach club, and it was a partial Lakeview King. So what this means is that we were on the beach side of the resort, across the intercoastal from the main hotel building. The room provided a nice space for the three of us. Daddy already ate his orange, but I will peel this one for you. They gave us 3 oranges. Isn't that nice? Yeah. And here's our beautiful bathroom that Sebastian will show you. Are you going to use the potty?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Here's a shower.
Yeah, nice shower. There's a nice tub here. We really appreciated the double vanities.
It's here's the bathroom to wash your hands. Here's the bed.
Do you like the bed?
Yeah.
This room really provided everything we needed for a family of 3 being right next to the beach. It's a little sleepier though than the main hotel at the Cloisters, which I think we might try next time. Overall, I would give the Boca Raton a 9.5 out of 10 only because the food is way overpriced, but otherwise it's an amazing experience. And Caribbean, we'll see you soon, but no regrets this time. Thanks for watching, everyone.